Services, and we'll start with Mr. Wade. As the senior population in Prince George's County grows, many older residents face challenges related to housing, healthcare costs, and transportation. What steps would you take to expand services and resources that improve the quality of life for our seniors in our community, and specifically in Enterprise Estates?
It's a great question. Overall, I work with seniors every day. Not only when I worked for the county exec managing the outreach and programming. One particular location was in South County where the senior housing there was no rent cap, so they were on senior housing. There was a cap, and their rental their rental monthly bills were going higher and higher, but the level of services were not being provided. So as a result, we went down there, we met with the business owners. They're not based in here, they were based in Bethesda. In many cases they are, and discussed with them, my director, and said, hey, what can we do to work with you? We're not to stifle your business, but what can we do to make sure that we provide a level of a rental, a lower level of rental increase, but also a level of services. Some of the people's carpets have not been cleaned for X amount of years, so we actually went in and cleaned their carpets. So we have to work with these businesses, but we also got to make sure that we have rental stabilization, which I believe that's on the county floor. I mean, I think Councilmember Burrows did that to make sure the seniors, their rental stabilization doesn't occur. But we have to make sure that we work with our seniors to provide legislation that will support them, as mentioned before, regarding property taxes, doing a flat freeze on that as well.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Price.
My wife just died. We've been married 56 years. I have never paid a bill. She's managed all the bills in that. First thing I would do for seniors is get them to know the registered wills. That was the first place I had to deal with before I could do anything. Then you've got to set up, there's a whole series of things. The other things are long-term care. Long-term care. We ain't dying quick, all of us. I have a senior group that meets in Cheverly called DCV Hand Dancers. My apology is not old enough right now. But I bring the registered wills out to talk to them because we're going through that now and then. I'm looking forward to working through this. As I go this, I'm taking them through this with me too. But long-term care, because we ain't all going quickly. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
First, I'll offer my condolences to Mr. Price for the death of his wife. That's number one. Number two, I want to reference the affordable housing conversation we had before. We absolutely need to provide more affordable housing for our seniors. In addition to that, I really like what Cheverly is doing with the villages that they have there. I think that's a model that could fit a lot of different neighborhoods, specifically Enterprise Estates, where you have an organization that allows seniors to age in place in their own homes, not necessarily in like group homes, although we need to have more of those as well. But so seniors can have the options to age exactly where they are in their own homes and be able to keep their own homes. I want to expand more assisted living facilities here at Prince George's County. In addition to that, I want to adjust the zoning policy so we can streamline development of these kinds of developments in addition to that. Moreover, we need more home health care providers here in Prince George's County. Right now, home health care providers, you need a certificate of need from the state in order to operate in a jurisdiction like Prince George's County. We're at a shortage. I was actually working with a provider a few years ago, right before the pandemic, to see if we could advocate for more home health care providers in Prince George's County. I will do that as the council member. In addition to that, I want to make sure that we're improving transportation options so people can so our seniors can get around Prince George's County. Last year, I worked with a senior who lived on Sheriff Road in Landover. During the pandemic, they moved her bus stop. We were able to give her a new bus stop right there, so she's able to go to the store and get her groceries.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Gray.
Quality of life, particularly for our seniors. First of all, I would eliminate the bag tax for seniors. It is a tax. It's an unnecessary tax. And in addition to that, the council did not write the law correctly where they designated it to something. So currently that money is staying with the retailer. It is not going to clean up anything. Two, I would create an ombudsman. We have some issues with our 55 and over communities, and we need to have that level of mediation, that person in between the citizen and the management company. I think that will be incredibly important. It depends on how we write the law, how much teeth we can give that ombudsman to actually deal with some other issues that seniors are dealing with. Because there is a financial literacy and some other issues that were spoke of previously that need to be addressed. We do need to work, of course, which I said earlier, is retrofitting houses and making sure that the seniors can age in place. I think we need to partner with a not-for-profit to do that, because we have a program similar to that already in the county in our housing department. Unfortunately, they tend to eat up 35% of the funds through administrative costs, which I find to be way too high, and not enough of the dollars actually make it to fixing the senior housing. And expand the check-in program. We have a check-in when people call to make sure that the seniors are okay. That program needs to be expanded.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, so I turned 62 a couple weeks ago, so I'm eligible for Medicare now, I guess.
Congratulations.
So, I know I don't look it, but it's all right. Okay, so listen, we've got to do what we can for our senior citizens. I am one now, officially, right? And I was fortunate enough, I didn't buy my first home till I was 59 because the houses are expensive in Prince George's County. But I was able to pull it together. And the most important thing that I learned through that process was, how do I keep my finances in order? And I think that some of the issues that some of our elderly are having with taxes, estate planning, elder care, a lot of those financial pieces, we can call on my good friend Brooke Learman, who is the comptroller for the state of Maryland, and to provide some sources, because she's asking me, what can I do for Prince George's County? And we can bring those state resources here to the county. I think we have a lot of things that can help affordability and help people stay in their home. The Christmas in April program can be expanded. We used it in Kentland and Landover for a lot of our senior homes. I think we need to look at making sure that the new developments have a place in those new developments for seniors. Just because you build a $500,000 house doesn't mean your neighbor down the street can't live in a $500,000 house or a $200,000 house. We need to have a more mixed use of our residential development. I think the other piece is transportation. Try to catch a bus from here to go to a county meeting. You won't get there anytime soon.
Thank you.
Thank you. So as I mentioned, I took care of both of my grandmothers. They both suffer from dementia. And one thing that I think we also need to enter into this conversation with is the care of caretakers. I think that often those people are overlooked, and can be very stressful when you are caring for an elderly person and providing them with some of those resources that they can then pass along to someone. But I certainly want to expand the senior tax credit and ensure that seniors can stay in their homes by making sure that we have affordable housing and holding developers accountable. You know, I've pledged not to take any money from super PACs that are funded by developers, because I want to hold them accountable. I want to be able to say to them, you know, if you build this 200, 300 unit area, it has to include senior housing, some first level housing, as we've heard and talked about today. One thing I did while I was on the Board of Education was put $1 million to fund the expansion of our community-based health clinics. Community-based health clinics, we only have 4 here in Prince George's County. They're attached to schools, and they're all defunct. Montgomery County has 17, Baltimore City has 20. So imagine if you could go into this community-based health clinic and get your blood pressure checked, you know, get your immunizations. These are easy things that we can be doing to support our senior community. Also want to support with short distance travel and tech solutions. You know, some seniors in my family, when I sit them down and show them Instacart and how they can order their food from their phone and it can come to their house, it's revolutionized them going to the store. Also making sure that our stores have senior hours so that they don't have to go in with everybody else in the rush. There can be some times where they're designated just for them to go in and shop.
Thank you.